Gary Clark, welcome.
How's it going, mate?
It's going very, very good. We are here again to talk about Rise of the Tomb Raider, but this time in a review sense.
Indeed.
Yay! I can finally talk about it. So yeah, I have finished it. I finished it probably a day after we finished recording the preview stuff. So it was
Mm,
it was, it was shortly after that. It took me 20, well, probably just under 20 hours to finish. So it's a pretty lengthy game. It's a pretty
mm.
lengthy game. I mean, the 2013 one, the reboot was a pretty lengthy game as well. To be fair, so it's about the same. But the overriding feeling is that this is one bloody good game. Um,
Nice.
like I said, I've completed it. I know you had a question around the story, if the story's good,
Mm.
and you were kind of asking me last time, and I couldn't really say much, obviously in a previous sense. Now I can, obviously, but I don't want to go into spoilers.
Yeah,
The story, to answer your previous question, is really good. Um,
nice.
yeah, I probably can't go into I think anything I say will probably be a spoiler, to be honest.
Yeah,
But the story, the characters involved, they've got, I mean, it's not the most amazing story. It's not like, like you probably turn it into a movie, although it probably is better than the actual Tomb Raider movies, to be honest. But it's a good story in the sense that it keeps you going,
right.
and it gives you a reason to keep going until the end.
Mm.
Um, and that's kind of pretty much like minimum all you want from a video game story. Like you want something to keep you going,
Yeah,
and
sure,
give
yeah.
you incentive to going until the end. And this does that. And there's a few twists and turns, um, and they're really good. And compared to the last one, where I know you thought the story, well, I guess you thought the characters were a bit light, right?
Yeah, it like the sort of reboot, it just felt like obviously you had Lara who was amazing.
Yeah,
And then the rest of the characters sort of just chucked in just for the hell of it. No sort of
yeah.
context, no sort of backstory. It just didn't sort of all gel nicely as a story.
Right.
But yeah, from what you sort of said, it sounds like they've sort of focused improving that side of it, the story, which is like a good thing, definitely.
Yeah, they have. They have. So the characters that are featured apart from Lara do have some backstory actually.
Mm,
And it's a very it's what you'd expect from a Tomb Raider type story, but in terms of what I've played and even seen on the movies, it's probably the best story of the lot. Um,
cool.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It's not like you have to obviously suspend some like belief. It is a game and it is about tomb raiding and all that sort of stuff. It's about about fancy stuff. So
Yeah,
don't
sure,
don't
yeah.
don't expect 100% realism. Um, you know, but the story is good. But where the game shines completely is the gameplay, man. It's just like I mean, it's as I mentioned last time in the preview, it's like what you had from the reboot, but just a whole lot more. It's not an open world, but it is more open.
Yeah, I
Um,
was going to say that, yeah, because there's sections where it's sort of very sort of narrow, and then you sort of come out into sort of big open,
yeah,
sort of vast areas where you can sort of not really take whatever route you want, but you've got more sort of direction of
yeah,
different directions where you want to go, or
you've got
sort of
more
more open
choices.
essentially.
Yeah, you've got more choices in each area. There's quite a few little hub areas I call them. There's two main ones. There's the one that you're gonna see in the gameplay that you're probably seeing, which is the Soviet hub area. That's kind of the first big hub area you come across. It's got loads of stuff littered across it. It's got a few side missions from the natives,
Mm,
which is kind of part of the story, which I won't say more. You've got side missions. You've got a few challenges to complete. You've got relics to find. There's murals, which if you find all these like documents and murals and relics and stuff, it increase where they're based from. Say that they'll be from Greek, or from Russia, or they'll be I think Latin might be one of them. I'm not sure. I might be getting the languages mixed up, but it increases your language in each area, so
right.
you
Okay.
so you can read and uh, unlock the secrets of other murals, uh,
Okay.
like the higher level ones. So there's a little bit of kind of exploring involved if you want to get like 100% or if you want to get all the achievements.
Mm.
So there's that stuff, which is the kind of smaller stuff, and there's like coin caches to find as well, where you can there's like this one I think it's only one of them that I've come across. There's like a shop essentially, like a black market shop where this guy is selling um all sorts of upgrades and whatnot. But these coins are pretty hard to come by, so you're gonna have to search a lot, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you obviously have the tombs. Um, Overall, I don't think this is gonna be me ruining anything without saying it. There's 10 tombs in the game. That's it. That's if you include the first one, which you saw in the video preview. That counts as a tomb. There's 9 other ones, so there's 10 tombs in all. Um, when I completed it, I didn't complete all the tombs. I went back and did the tombs.
Oh, cool.
So I think when I completed it, I completed probably about 2/3 of them, which is still quite a lot.
Mm.
And each tomb is just wonderfully designed,
Yeah.
wonderfully designed. It's like they've got these little puzzles woven into like bigger puzzles. I know you've seen me complete one,
Mm.
and you were quite impressed.
Oh yeah, like you say, sort of level design around them looked awesome, and that was one thing that was missing from the reboot. Like it's called Tomb Raider, right? So it
Yeah,
should have tombs in it, so
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
can sort of check out and they've obviously the original sort of series back on the PS1.
Yeah, yeah.
They obviously had the tombs, so it's good that they've sort of taken a flashback from the original series and put them into Rise of the Tomb Raider. And yeah, like just the sort of level design of them looks phenomenal.
Oh, they
Uh,
are
just
wonderfully designed.
you
Yeah.
have to obviously it's not going to be like taxing to your brain how hard they are that
Oh, it's not
but
Portal style like
yeah,
difficult challenges, but some are tricky. Some
yeah,
are tricky.
exactly.
Yeah.
You
It's
need to think about it, right? So
you
yeah.
need to think, you need to explore, you need to use all the tools that you have at your disposal as well.
Mm.
Some tombs you won't be able to complete until you've actually got certain items,
Okay.
because you won't be able to access the areas without these upgraded items. So you might have to go back after you completed them, or you have to kind of wait until the final run. There is a point in the game where it tells you like this is the final run. Like if you want to go back and upgrade stuff or do whatever, you
Mhm.
can do that. So there is a kind of warning there, but you still can come back afterwards anyway. So it doesn't. It's
Yeah.
not huge. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, each tomb is just wonderfully. It takes advantage of your weapons. It takes advantage of your the actual tools you've got. Your whole
Mm.
your whole inventory gets used in these tombs. And it's just wonderfully designed. Like some are physics based, like in terms of water. Like uh, you have to use the water to your advantage.
Mm.
Some, I think the one you saw was me using the water to my advantage, essentially, like trying to, and then you've got to use this the surroundings, whether it be
Yeah.
explosives, stuff like that as well. Um, they are one of my favorite parts of the game. The tombs, I really really enjoyed doing it. If um, it's just really, really good. 10 of them. I would have maybe liked a few more tombs,
Mm.
but I think Crystal Dynamics came out and said they're quite open. They're like a third of the game, which probably makes sense.
Yeah, true.
There's 10 of them, and like each tomb is, like I said, it's a puzzle woven into another puzzle with some platforming. So even before you get to the tomb, there's like kind of a platforming puzzle type section before you actually get to the tomb. So there's like they've kind of made it a big thing.
Yeah, so
Um,
you have to work for it.
you
You
have to
can't just
work.
end up there and that's it, sort of thing.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
that's
to
good.
work to get to it. Like you will be, you have to do some searching around, and when you are in an area where there is a tomb, the game will tell you that, oh, there's a optional challenged tomb in the area, and then you've got to kind of, it will pop up in a map, and you've got to kind of find your way
Yeah.
there, and then locate the tomb, and obviously get there and then complete it. And yeah, there's all sorts of challenges that come across when you're going to tombs. Like you'll have wolves and dogs and stuff guarding
Mm.
areas. You'll have big massive bears guarding
Wow.
areas. So I I remember plowing like thousands of bullets into this bear, just to get into a tomb. I was like, damn it. Um, no, really, really good. The tombs are a massive part. But then you have the core gameplay as well. Like I said, you've got the hub areas.
Mm.
And like I said, the game is not fully open world, but these hub areas, what they do is they allow you to explore kind of a fairly open area, and they've got,
Yeah.
like I said, you've got these collectibles kind of littered around. You've got the side missions as I mentioned, and it's, each of these areas is like a kind of puzzle in itself. Like you have to use your tools and your skills to navigate around them, and and access all the stuff that you can. And what I also like is like the way the weapons get upgraded. It's a pretty similar style to the last game where you go to the campfires and you can
Yeah.
upgrade your stuff, and but you've got more options with the bow as well now.
Mm. That's cool.
So you can use it in various different ways. It was probably my most used weapon throughout the game. You do get guns and shotguns and pistols and rifles, but the bow I use the most. I just find
Yeah.
it to be more effective, which as a Tomb Raider kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah. I'm trying to think what else I can talk about without spoiling stuff. I mean, do you have any questions apart from that? Because like now I can talk about it in Naruto.
Well, one thing I will sort of mention that obviously they've taken out the multiplayer side of things.
Yeah,
They sort of come out recently and sort of said the reason they'd done it is because they wanted to concentrate on a better story, which, to be fair, is
they have.
that's a fair enough
Yeah,
answer because the multiplayer in the original sort of reboot was terrible for Tomb Raider.
yeah.
So yeah, do you think that by sort of getting rid of the sort of multiplayer, it's a bad thing or a good thing? Because a lot of times when games do that, it's classed as a bad thing. But I personally don't think this is because, yeah, if it improves the story, which it sounds like it has, and the multiplayer, like I said, was pretty poor in the reboot, I think they've done the right thing
I think it.
personally.
I think they've done the right thing. I don't think this game would have necessarily benefited with a multiplayer. I
Yeah,
think it seems like like they've benefited more without the multiplayer. It's
yeah,
maybe allowed
definitely.
them time to focus on the game, the story, other elements. Um, I mean, just talking about it graphically again, the game looks absolutely stunning.
Oh, it's
It
ridiculous how good it looks.
is a beautiful. There's quite a few different areas you go to. Like it's mainly like snowy areas, and you're in the dusk and dawn at night as well. The game looks amazing. Like Lara's character model is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the little details in the preview that I mentioned. Like you get like flakes of snow on her clothes and her hair
Hmm.
forming. And like she comes out of the water and she'll like kind of pick up a ponytail just to like shake it off. Like little details like that make games sometimes. You know what I mean? It might sound
Yeah,
stupid, but
definitely.
they do.
Yep.
And yeah, just looks completely. I think the word is phenomenal. That like in terms of like it looks really really impressive. There's lots going on sometimes as well. Especially towards the end of the game, like that spoiler stuff. There's a lot going on.
Mm.
Um, and it handles it really well. There are some slight frame rate drops, but they're more a rare occasion than I guess the norm.
Yeah.
Really really
You,
impressive.
you do get that on a lot of games these days, so it's just you just sort of accept it in a way. But if it's only sort of rarities,
Yeah,
then that's no real bad
yeah.
thing. But yeah, this Rise of the Tomb Raider is definitely up there for one of the best looking games so far this generation. I feel.
Oh, definitely.
It's,
I mean, people take the piss out of the Xbox One sometimes. You know what I mean in terms of what it can do,
mm,
but they've clearly focused on, nailing what the Xbox One can do, and they've done it really, really well. And
mm,
yeah, maybe when it comes out on PS4, it might look even better. But right now, obviously, I can only play the Xbox One version, so
yeah,
and
exactly.
it looks really, really, really good.
Yeah,
I can't.
that's my only annoyance with it. Like the fact that it sounds just like phenomenal as a game,
Yeah,
and the fact that only a sort of a small percentage of like the sort of gaming community can play it because
yeah.
obviously it's an Xbox One. It's Xbox One exclusive for a year, right? And then
I
the
think it's
PC version comes early 2016. Is that something like
I think
that?
that sounds about right. I'm not sure exactly. It. I mean, these type of things are usually a year, to be honest.
Yeah,
So I imagine it'll be out next year sometime on the PS4, PC as well. Um,
yeah,
I I mean, I can't imagine it'll be waiting too long. But if this is, I guess, a coup for Microsoft because this is a phenomenal game. Like
Yeah,
this is
definitely.
actually, I said when I reviewed Halo 5 that it's a reason to finally own an Xbox One. This is also a reason to own an Xbox One.
Yeah.
If you're not a patient gamer and like you don't want to wait until it comes out on the PC or PS4, buy an Xbox One. This is that damn good.
Yeah,
This is really really
definitely.
good.
It just looks ridiculously good.
And just to kind of round up a bit, in terms of the story missions and stuff like that, they are really damn good. There's like it's like there's like you've got it's paced really well. So it starts off, kind of builds as you saw in the video preview in terms of the footage, and then it just goes from one place to another, and there's like set piece stuff, and it's pulsating at times, it's tense at times, it's scary at times. Like towards the end, it gets a bit dark, and it's like, oh shit. Uh, it's they've paced the story and the way stuff comes at you in terms of what you're supposed to do really really well.
Mm,
And the gunplay, like we talked a bit about it last time, it impresses. It holds up well under the pressure that other set pieces and whatnot.
yeah.
Really really impressive. Really really impressive. And there are some fights that will be tough, um, but yeah, it's still damn good. The only slight flaw I'd say is that there isn't a proper cover system. Sure,
Yeah.
like Lara will just crouch behind um objects when you go behind them, and you're kind of it's you in most games you're used to a cover system where you press a button and you're kind of behind cover. She'll just crouch behind it, and she does it well, but at
Mm,
times it just feels a bit fiddly. Uh,
yeah.
but it doesn't affect the game too much. It's still enjoyable as hell.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm surprised that they didn't, even if they didn't want to sort of go down the route of where you have to sort of press like a button to stick to a sort of wall or whatever. I thought maybe they would have gone down the route of just like when you're right
pushing the
next to
stick,
a wall,
yeah.
you sort of automatically sort of stick. But
No, you don't. You
uh,
don't. Which
that's
I guess
yeah,
there might be a reason behind it. I guess
maybe yeah,
it keeps the action flowing as well.
yeah, true.
Which might sound like an excuse, but it's not. Like when you play it, you'll realize.
Mm,
And there is like I mentioned, the stealth aspect of it is actually really good. It's kind of almost like the Batman Arkham games where you can traverse the areas up high and then kind of
mm,
patrol it and use your explorer vision, which you do have. Like it kind of points out key items and it highlights enemies for you as well.
yeah.
Like you can kind of like almost stalk them in a way, uh,
Okay.
and then use your stealth kill. Like you press Y, which is basically your melee attack
Mm,
to bash down enemies, and you do some brutal stealth kills. To be honest, if you upgrade them, the stealth is really good as well. It's not open as MGS as I said last time, but
yeah.
it is singular, but it works well, which is something that Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Yes, I'm still talking about that game. Doesn't do well. So overall, the gameplay is just incredibly fun, from start to finish. There are,
Yeah,
like I
it
said,
looks it.
slight niggles, but even still, I just completely love this game, and I can't give it anything less than a 10. I really can't. It's just so good.
Mm.
The flaws are very minor that I just can't. I really can't. I was struggling for a reason to think, okay, why should I give this a 9? Why should I give this a 9.5? No, 10. It is.
Yeah, that's the thing. The flaws obviously don't break
Yeah,
like the game
and
in
ten's
any
not
way. So
and ten's not perfect. Like we're not saying it's perfect. It just means that it's a shining example of its genre, and it's just a
mm,
whole lot of fun. Um, in terms of extra stuff, like there is no multiplayer, but there is like score attack stuff. You can go back and replay. Like you get these silly cards where you can replay these missions with like chickens as as grenades, like the explosive chickens and stuff like that. So it's got and like you can have like a Lara big head card where she's got a massive head.
oh
Uh,
wow,
got some all this crazy stuff, and these are like cards you get like in packs and stuff. There are like you can buy them with real money, but you don't really need to. Like I throughout the
mm,
course of the game just accumulated so much. Yeah, that I didn't know what to do with, to be honest. But yeah, but you can go back and do score attack and replay missions, and try and get some stuff. But um, after playing it for, like I said, just under 20 hours, or probably just over 20 hours, phenomenal game, really good, really really good,
amazing.
really really good. But we'll finish it up there. Tomb Raider is out in the UK on the 13th of November. If you've got an Xbox One, buy it. If you haven't got one,
Buy it, yeah.
look to buy one. Yeah, that's all I can say really. Cheers, Gary.
No problem, dude.
Okay, cheers, guys. Bye.
Cheers, guys.